For the last 2 years, the National Police Service did not allow graduate police constables to update their files and get a better pay, but it continued to pay those who had updated their files up to and including then 2016.
When you acquire a degree, it is not automatic that you are promoted. You must go through certain processes. You are identified, you are taken for further training, and you are given a rank that is appropriate to the qualifications that you have. That is now what is provided for in the scheme of service. So if you look at the scheme of service currently, and I'll invite you to take a look at it, it brings out all those. It's a very comprehensive document.
KTN News Crime and Investigations Desk now learns that things fell apart when the Westlands Best Commission chose to halt payment of graduate police officers whom it had paid for the last 2 years, in which their colleagues languished in poverty and struggled to repay loans which had sustained their education. After 2 years of silence, the National Police Service Commission, in what has presented itself as an attempt to sanitize its actions, will on March 7th, 2018, write a letter to the Inspector General of Police under reference number National Police Service /1/28/1, Volume 2, number 49, communicating a board's decision to temporarily halt salaries for all constables with university degrees. The matter would have passed as a top secret eating the police service, but that was before two individuals, Ayub Gikonyo Madenge and Oscar Ngelesa Misiko, moved to court to stop the National Police Service Commission from halting salaries of the over 2,000 police constables. At this point, note that it is a case between graduate police officers who all this while have been receiving their salaries according to their ranks as graduates. But no one is talking about these ones who have never been paid since they graduated. As a matter of fact, they were stopped from updating their files, and now hundreds of them are contemplating to resign. But their future could be dampened even further. It is now being intimated to KTN News Crime and Investigations Desk that there is a plan to withdraw the case pending in court and instead seek to maintain the status quo. This will mean those being paid as graduates will continue to be paid, and those who have never received a cent from their new ranks will further be moved into turmoil. It is a looming legal battle.
And this should reach Mr. President that there is this group of police officers that are graduates from the various universities have got the good knowledge. They earn a lot of good knowledge. They have used a lot of resources to go back to school so that they improve the efficiency and effectiveness of the service. And of late, we are not seeing the importance because the organization is not seeing the importance. And you realize the term of the National Police Service Commission is almost ending. And if this thing is not taken care of, we will remain in crisis for a long time when there's nothing have been done.
I remember I was in one of the WhatsApp group. The group admin was called by a very senior police boss.
What was her name, of course?
From what he said, Skingori Mange, he warned him and told him to disband all the groups, social media, and maybe not to tell anyone what is happening. He even threatened to fire or sack him. We don't know the intentions, but we even feel afraid because we have some WhatsApp group. We have to communicate to maybe find out what they are planning for us, or maybe just pulling up each one's morale. But the group admins have been called, they call them from some bosses, and they're being warned. They're being threatened, and sometimes we even fear for our life.
Officers we cannot name, given the sensitivity of the issue at hand, now say a time may come when the police service will no longer be attractive to prospective recruits. Some of those contemplating to resign have had to borrow money to finance their resignations, Police standing orders require that an officer quitting the service surrenders a month's salary and issues a 24-hour notice. KTN News Crime and Investigations Unit is aware that in the past there were dozens of police officers who somehow had been placed on a tainted payroll. The officers were and others are still being paid as graduates, yet they never stepped into any university in Kenya or in fact anywhere else.
There are other seniors, police officers who are still in universities, pursuing various degrees. And we are wondering how they are going to benefit from this, because they have that intention of benefiting from these degrees they are pursuing. So we are asking ourselves, are they going to use backdoors so that they can be able to benefit from these degrees? Because this issue is really disturbing, because even if you look at our pay slips are very pathetic, leave alone sustaining our families. You cannot even sustain ourselves, leave alone our direct immediate families members. In fact, we work for, every month we work knowing that by the end of the month we are earning, something less than 4,000. So it is so demoralizing.
The National Police Service has been struggling to conduct an audit to weed out fake graduates from its 3,739 registered graduates from across its 3 wings of the Kenya Police Service, the Administration Police Service, and the Directorate of Criminal Investigations. On its part, the National Police Service says it temporarily halted the pay to conduct an audit. But the chairman of the National Police Service Commission, Johnston Kavuludi, is once again addressing the most recent issue that has since been challenged in court, and not the 2016 matter.
The commission did not stop the salaries of police officers who have got degrees, the graduates. The commission undertook to audit. First of all, we isolated who those officers were, right? So there was a temporary stoppage by isolating who are these officers. Then we went on to place them back on the payroll since we now knew them. And we sent out teams to the regions to look at all their documents, to vet them, to determine the extent to which they are authentic for purposes of proper inclusion in the payrolls. And secondly, so that we can design courses that will ensure that they are placed appropriately in the inspectorate ranks. That is what we've done, and we have completed the work. Together with us, we also were able to take a look at officers living with disabilities, because we had determined and we had been told that there had been some cheating involved. Now we know how many police officers are living with disabilities. The purpose is so that we can also place them appropriately.
Somebody will take a loan, go and advance education. First of all, we are human beings. We have families, and apart from that, for efficiency in our jobs, we need the skills. Yeah, they come hand in hand. The benefits and the benefit to an individual officer, and then the benefit to the larger organization as the police. It's let's say it's mutual. It should be mutual, not discriminating. They want your services, but they want to reward it or to appreciate it in some way. We are really looking upon on this issue, and we'd like to plead with the government to assist us as an unpaid police graduate within the National Police Service. Because even if you need to stop something, you cannot wake up in the morning and stop something. There must be enough and sufficient notice that you need to stop this. Because normally a degree takes 4 years. Therefore you need to consider for somebody who is in the first year, second year, third year, and fourth year.
What the police officers did, including junior officers, they did what they could using the meager salaries they were earning to go to the universities. They joined various universities in the country to advance their knowledge in criminology, administration, and public relations. Most of them have degrees. And also the modern techniques in apprehending those people they are sent to arrest. But then, after that, they were absorbed in the service under new skills as academician police officers. If later on, the scheme was suspended.
The National Police Service Charter is very clear. One of it says it wants the National Police Service to be professional and a world-class police service. And we wonder. And I think the team of graduate police officers are the one to achieve this mandate. And they're the best place, but it's unfortunate that they are not recognized, they are not appreciated, and there's sort of variation and discrimination.
This is not just another civil service job. You will often wake up long before everyone else and retire last. This is no job, therefore, for the faint-hearted. Security of our people and their property is now in your hands, and that is a heavy responsibility.
President Uhuru Kenyatta had given Interior Cabinet Secretary Dr. Fred Matiang'i up to 30 days to work on a draft formula on proper housing within the police and generally figure out mechanisms of reforming the service. In the meantime, these graduate police constables await a reflection of their university degrees on their payslips since 2016. They spent hundreds of thousands acquired through loans and commitment of their payslips to education. For now, that is all they can do, wait. But no one knows wait for what. Brian Obuya, The Lead, KTN News.